It's starting to look like there's a lot more to the Charlie Kirk story than anyone initially realized. The new information that surfaced over the last few days is disturbing, to say the least. At first, the narrative was that a madman, maybe a crazed liberal, had targeted Kirk over his political views. But now, rumors are swirling about a possible deal gone wrong with some very unsavory people, and whispers that they may have had a hand in his death. Even Kirk's widow, Erica, has spoken out, adding fuel to the speculation that this situation runs far deeper than it first appeared. Here's what we know so far. Charlie Kirk's case has turned into a full-blown mess, and each new detail only makes it messier. Last week, during a campaign stop at Utah Valley University, an event organized by his group Turning Point USA, everything seemed routine. He was on stage in a fiery debate with an audience member over gun laws, the kind of heated back and forth his supporters were used to. Then, in the blink of an eye, it turned deadly. Witnesses say a single gunshot rang out and struck Kirk in the neck, reportedly hitting his carotid artery, one of the body's main blood vessels. He collapsed almost immediately, the bleeding catastrophic and uncontrollable. When the news first broke, outrage swept across social media. Many of Kirk's fans blamed liberals, convinced it was a political assassination. But the shock was even greater when authorities named their prime suspect. Not a left-wing extremist, but a white conservative man named Tyler Robinson. Even Utah's governor commented publicly, saying he had hoped and prayed the shooter would turn out to be an immigrant or someone from out of state, not one of Utah's own.
You know, this bad stuff happens, and for 33 hours, I was praying that if this had to happen here, that it wouldn't be one of us, that somebody drove from another state, somebody came from another country. Sadly, that prayer was not answered the way I hoped for, just because I thought it would make it easier on us if we could just say, hey, we don't do that here. And indeed, Utah is a special place. We lead the nation in charitable giving. We lead the nation in service every year. But it did happen here.
That comment from the governor definitely didn't land the way he'd hoped, and the backlash was swift. But while the political fallout was brewing, law enforcement appeared to be moving fast. Within hours of the shooting, the FBI announced it was taking over the investigation from local police. In a public statement, officials from the Salt Lake City field office said agents and resources were already on the ground, promising full tactical, operational, investigative, and intelligence support. They emphasized that the Bureau would fully support and co-lead the case alongside local partners. Only a few hours later, the FBI released a photo of someone they described as a person of interest. Within days, they announced they had a suspect in custody, Tyler Robinson, a 22-year-old from Utah. The governor's earlier remarks triggered a media firestorm. Commentators on both sides scrambled to paint Tyler as a Democrat, trying to fit the narrative that a left-wing extremist had killed Charlie Kirk. But that story didn't last long. Tyler's grandmother publicly shut it down, telling reporters that their family had always been conservative. My son, his dad, is a Republican for Trump. Most of my family are Republicans. I don't know a single Democrat, she said. She went on to defend her grandson passionately. I don't believe he did this. He's never fired a gun. He doesn't hunt. He's never liked anything like that. I know he doesn't own any guns. There's just no way he could have been that good of a shot. There's no way he could be violent. I've watched that child grow up and I can't imagine it ever being him, and I'm not just saying that because I'm his grandma. Her comment struck a nerve. How could a 22-year-old with no military training pull off such a clean, fatal shot? That question fueled speculation that Tyler might be a scapegoat, or at least didn't act alone. Charlie Kirk's longtime ally Candace Owens openly echoed those doubts. When a Twitter user posted flight data about a private jet, tail number N88KG, that allegedly left Provo Airport an hour after the shooting, then went dark, mid-flight before returning to Provo, Candace responded, "If anybody knows anything about this, please comment below or email tips@candacines.com. She then made it clear she believes Kirk's killing was a hit, bluntly tweeting, "Who called the hit on Charlie? We need answers." The feds immediately interjected and took over the case from local police. If they wanted to catch Charlie's killer, They would have immediately publicized all pictures and videos, and the internet would have solved it in minutes. The desire was never there. She doubled down, suggesting there were more people involved and hinting at an underground network tied to Discord chats. Be very wary and suspicious of the people who are already telling us to stop asking questions about the Charlie Kirk assassination, she warned. Candace even retweeted a post claiming the FBI had been inside the same Discord server as the conspirators, implying that key evidence was already being scrubbed. She then went further, alleging that Kirk had been clashing with very powerful billionaires he'd taken money from, and that the pressure on him had been immense over the previous 2 weeks. The truth will be revealed, the messages will be leaked, and the movement he built will rise up, she promised. According to one post she amplified, Kirk had been on the verge of losing his last major donor after refusing to ban Tucker Carlson from his events, a revelation that added even more intrigue. There are a lot of people shedding crocodile tears, the tweet read. The billionaires must be exposed for the cretins that they are. Even after the FBI confirmed it was investigating possible co-conspirators, combing through chat logs, dark web activity, and the suspects' affiliations, Candace wasn't impressed. An unnamed bureau official had told reporters, "We are focused on the radicalization element. The truth will not be hidden, or buried or classified. The public will know. No stone should be left unturned. The public deserves answers on who radicalized this degenerate, and they must be held accountable." Candace called that BS, vowing to shred any false narrative before it could take hold on her show. She's made it clear she's not backing down, and neither is Charlie's widow, Erica. Like Candace, Erica has hinted that there's far more to her husband's death than the public knows. She's publicly vowed to protect his legacy and never let his story be buried. Together, Candace and Erica have positioned themselves as the loudest voices demanding answers, and they're not letting go of the mic.
Responsible for my husband's action have no idea what they have done. They Charlie because he preached a message of patriotism, faith, and of God's merciful love. But they should all know this. If you thought that my husband's mission was powerful before, you have no idea. You have no idea what you just have unleashed across this entire country and this world. You have no idea. You have no idea the fire that you have ignited within this wife. The cries of this widow will echo around the world like a battle cry. To everyone listening tonight across America, the movement my husband built will not die. It won't. I refuse to let that happen. It will not die.
Something tells me the story still has a major twist waiting to unfold. Both Candace and Erica seem absolutely determined to get to the bottom of what happened, and nothing so far has slowed them down. In the meantime, I'd love to hear from you. Do you think there's really a conspiracy behind Charlie's death, or is Candace reading too much into the situation? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and be sure to check out the next video.